Hi, I'm Cliff Hildreth from Realty World Estates. If you're watching this video, you're probably getting ready to search for a new home. Congratulations! That's great. Owning a new home is one of the greatest feelings in life and probably one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. But before you do, there are a few things you should know and do to make your buying experience more enjoyable and, more importantly, less stressful. Once you decide you're going to buy a home, the excitement can overtake you and you just want to get started looking at properties right away. I understand that. I was that way as well with my wife when we started looking for our first home. Before, by the way, I was in the real estate business. And some of the things we ran into really created a lot of stressful situations that, now that I know what we should have done, didn't need to happen. So let's go over the basics. First, have a vision in place before you start your house hunt. Actually have several visions in place. I know it sounds strange, but decide what you want, or more importantly, what you need in a home. How many bedrooms, bathrooms, the area you want to live. Once you have your must-haves, then add the wants, maybe a bigger yard, a pool, a gated neighborhood, and so forth. Next, look at your possible options, or what I call substitutions. For example, you'll probably get a bigger yard or a bigger lot if you're in the suburbs. If you work in the city, are you willing to commute longer to have that? Or vice versa? Would you take a smaller yard if it cut off time on your commute? Would you take a smaller home in a more expensive neighborhood if the schools are better for the kids? These are just some of the examples of what I mean by substitutions. Next, have a financial vision, complete with a clear picture of what your total income and expenses will look like in the after home buying view, including what you pay out for your home and related expenses. Don't forget homeowners association dues, homeowners insurance, commute expenses, if any. Next, see a mortgage lender to get pre-approved. This is a really important one, maybe the most important. This will let you know how much you can qualify for and what type of a loan is available for you. It'll also let you know, and this may sound strange, if you can even buy a home. I know that sounds a little bizarre, but I can't calculate over the years how many home buyers think they're fine and get well into the process just to find out they can't get a loan for the home they want, or worse, they can't get a loan at all. There's some kind of credit issue they were unaware of, or their expenses exceeded the amount lenders were willing to accept for the home value. It can stop the process in its tracks, and it's extremely frustrating and disappointing, especially if you've found the home you love. Also, many, if not most sellers, require pre-approval before they'll accept an offer on their home if you decide to make one. They want to sell their home, and they don't want to waste their time waiting just to find out you didn't qualify. If you wait to start the pre-approval process until after you find a home, which can take a week or more sometimes, the seller may accept another offer while you go through the process, again, causing unnecessary disappointment. Everyone in the process is happy to work with someone who has already been qualified to purchase the home they want. Once you're pre-approved, start conversations with your real estate agent with a clear understanding of what you're looking for, and you'll be much less likely to get derailed. Clearly communicate your wants, your needs, your goals, and financial boundaries to your professionals, telling them what you can afford rather than trying to shoehorn your financial plans into a one-size-fits-all mortgage guideline. With a vision, the temptation of an uber low price but completely inappropriate home will not lure you into buying the wrong place for your needs. Nor will an amazing home that is simply out of your personal price range, no matter how great the value it is, for the money. Next, be reasonable. Don't let affordability get in between you and reality. Right now, homes are more affordable than they've been in almost 10 years. However, high affordability doesn't necessarily mean you can get every single thing you want and name your price. The fact is, even people who are spending millions for their home don't get everything they want. I've seen buyers insist that they need X number of bedrooms and Y number of bathrooms in a move-in condition for a price that's just not going to happen. Even in this current climate, sellers will not give away their home, and banks in a short sale, even if they're offering a good deal, still want a price reasonably close to the market value. People aren't giving away their homes. Everybody's heard that the real estate market is really bad now, but that doesn't mean you can walk away with a gift anytime you feel like it. If your agent has shown you home after home that is what you want, but is sold for more than you want to spend, and you're confident that you can find or cut a better deal because the market is down and you just happen to be a brilliant negotiator, you might be at risk of falling into this trap. There are deals to be had, but if you don't stay grounded in reality, you end up chasing your tail and missing out. If you insist on dropping 20% off the price of every home you like, you're going to end up looking and looking ad infinitum. You can certainly make an offer below asking price, but be reasonable. If you've been house hunting for months and months on end, your agent keeps trying to tell you that maybe you should look in a lower price bracket. You've repeatedly gotten outbid, or you just can't seem to find the precise home you seek in the location and price range you seek, at least consider the possibility that you might have outsized your wish list for your budget. Take a step back, revisit your vision, as we talked about at the beginning of the video, and remind yourself what's really important. It's okay to have some must-haves or deal breakers for your next home purchase, but remember, there are at least two people involved in every home purchase: the buyer, you, and the seller. And the seller doesn't have to take your offer just because you think he should. Now, in the internet age, you certainly may begin your search online. Most people actually do. But once you're ready to begin looking at properties, you've got to get a local agent to brief you on the local market. Now more than ever, with so much information on the internet, much of it's wrong. It's essential to have a focus on the information and strategies that will get you what you want, where you want to be. Whether it's an amazing deal on a home that you've always wanted, or simply success at becoming the owner of your first home at a price you never thought you would be able to get. Otherwise, you end up all over the place, spending your time, money, and sanity getting worked up over distressed properties that aren't yet for sale, trying to negotiate deals with sellers who are in no position to cut them, or having your lowball offers on bank-owned properties rejected time after time. And on that note, I always tell my buyers, please do not look on Realtor.com, Homes.com, and some of the other real estate websites to pick out the homes they want to see. These sites are frequently wrong, especially on the status of the properties. I've seen properties on some of those sites listed as available that were sold literally years ago and have not been taken off the site or updated. Again, an unnecessary frustration. Your local agent will have access to the area MLS, which are generally updated daily, hourly, or in the case of my MLS, every half an hour. Most of us even have the ability to set up an automatic search that sends listings to your email box each morning that match your search criteria. No other sites will have better or more accurate access to the available homes than your local agent. In addition, don't let a news story about the guy in Minnesota who got a home for $3.27 on a tax sale be the basis for your entire home buying strategy. Instead, you need a local broker or agent who has a track record of helping people. Let him help you find your new home. The market is down everywhere relative to 2006. You're going to hear some amazing stories, but nobody ever meets these people. But some markets, and even some neighborhoods within a market, are still seeing multiple offers on home prices, which are relatively recession-proof compared to what you're hearing in other parts of the country. Once you have the vision in place, keep it. Don't let your acupuncturist, your shoe repair guy, or your dry cleaner convince you that your strategy is all wrong. You could get that place way cheaper, or the bank should absolutely do every single repair you want, or you should just walk away from the deal. Many would-be buyers lose out on great homes because they take negotiating advice from their holistic veterinarian over what's being offered and how to take care of the deal, other than the advice they're getting from their agent. Your dry cleaner, no matter what he tells you, doesn't know the market better than the guy or gal who works in it every day. Next, read. Read good faith estimates, your contracts, your disclosures, your inspection reports. This is a long list of multi-page documents that you're very easy to just sign off when you're in the heat of the hunt and think you're on the scent of an amazing deal. I'm not suggesting you ask for a week-long pause button to read every single document either. Rather, read them as you get them. Most of them aren't that long. Ask questions if you don't understand what they say, and keep asking until you do understand the documents. Many buyers this summer will make offers on more than one home before they get into contract on one. And many of those properties will be short sales and foreclosures. With distressed properties, every contract is different, so it behooves you not to go into autopilot, just skimming the papers as you might otherwise. Also, reports might reveal red flags and condition issues that you'd normally expect to see in the seller's disclosures, which the bank-owned properties don't have to provide. It's especially critical in these situations to fully understand as much as you can about the property, your loan, and your obligation and due dates under these particular kinds of contracts. Next, stop the mental accounting and do real math on paper. Mental accounting refers to the tendency we all have of doing math in our heads, separating things like the easy money, shall we say, the so-called instant equity from buying a home that's worth way less than it's really worth, the hard-earned wages and salary, making spending decisions differently from these different mental accounts. On the scent of a good deal and in the heat of a hunt, even the most meticulous home buyer can go up a few thousand in offer price to beat out somebody else. No problem, right? Well, but then the inspector uncovers a few needed repairs. Then they make a mental guess on what that might cost instead of finding out for sure and add that in, again, mentally. Then when the lender requires a few extra $1,000s on the loan because of unexpected closing costs, that goes on top, again, only mentally. And mental money, as we all know, tends to stretch a lot farther than the real money does. So, you can see how it's possible to break the bank when you thought you were in great shape because you scored such a great purchase price on the property itself. Even if you hate budgets with every fiber of your being, buck up on this one. Pull out the calculator or open up a spreadsheet and keep track of every line item. Get actual repair bids during your inspection period to the extent possible and get your math mojo on. It's fine to buy and incur these overages here and there, but keeping track of them is the key. What I like to say is surprises are for birthday parties, not for real estate transactions, and not for your bank account either. Keeping a strict tab on the expenses you incur during the transaction or will need to incur afterwards will save you so much drama later. Well, that covers the basics. Now, I know you can never anticipate every issue, and there very well may be something that pops up unexpectedly that you'll have to deal with. But if you do the things I've suggested and you have a competent realtor working with you, it'll make the process much smoother, quicker, and less stressful. I'd love to help you out with your home search in any way that I can. Please don't hesitate to give me a call with any questions you may have, and I'll be happy to answer that. I'm sure together we can find you a home that makes sense for you at a price that makes sense for your budget.